We are a family, so we're gonna deal with this as a family. How fucking idea what it's like to be number one.
Any thoughts at all on why you blacked out?
I don't know. Stress, maybe.
When The Sopranos premiered in 1999, it didn't just change television, it revolutionized it. Before Tony Soprano, TV crime bosses were one-dimensional villains. After him, the anti-hero was born. What started as HBO's risky experiment became the blueprint for prestige television. Complex characters, cinematic production, and moral ambiguity that keeps viewers questioning themselves. But what most fans don't realize is how Season 1 almost never happened, and how the smallest behind-the-scenes decisions created this cultural earthquake. The story of a mobster in therapy wasn't just innovative storytelling. It was the birth of a new television language. Let's explore the hidden architecture behind the season that changed everything. Fact number 1. The pilot was almost a movie creator. David Chase originally conceived The Sopranos as a feature film. Disillusioned with network television's creative limitations, he wanted to tell a concise story about a New Jersey mobster's relationship with his overbearing mother. HBO executives recognized something deeper in Chase's vision. Tony's psychological complexity deserved a longer format where it could breathe and develop. This pivot from film to series became the first domino that changed television storytelling forever. What other iconic TV shows almost took completely different forms? Fact number 2. The year-long production. Limbo. After HBO commissioned the pilot in 1997, the show entered a strange limbo. Nearly a full year passed before the network greenlit the series in late 1998. During this uncertain period, James Gandolfini worried about losing the role that would define his career, while sets were dismantled and the show's future hung in the balance. This unexpected delay created a unique creative tension when production finally resumed. The uncertain atmosphere translated into Season 1's raw, documentary-like quality. The slightly improvisational camera work matched the chaotic life of a mob boss whose control was slipping, both in his family and his mind. Fact number 3. Lorraine Bracco's career-defining gamble. When offered a role in The Sopranos, Lorraine Bracco made a decision that transformed the series. Having already mastered the mob wife role as Karen Hill in Goodfellas, she was approached to play Carmela Soprano. Instead, Bracco insisted on playing Dr. Jennifer Melfi, a character completely opposite to what audiences expected from her. This bold choice created the show's psychological core. Rather than being consumed by the mafia world, Melfi became our window into Tony's psyche. Her scenes with Gandolfini became the emotional anchor of the series, where the most brutal revelations came not through violence, but through conversation. Without Bracco's insistence on playing against type, these therapy sessions might have been a narrative gimmick instead of the soul of the show. Fact number 4. The name that changed everything. In early drafts, Tony didn't have the iconic last name we now associate with him. Chase experimented with several alternatives before settling on Soprano. The musical connotation created perfect irony for a violent crime boss, a high voice in a world of brutish men. The name also subtly highlighted Tony's constant performance. Suburban dad on one stage, ruthless gangster on another, and vulnerable patient in Melfi's office. This duality became the show's central tension. By season's end, Soprano was so embedded in pop culture that it immediately conjured images of ducks, therapy, and Gandolfini's towering presence. Fascinated by these Season 1 revelations? Hit like and drop a comment to help Primetime Throwback uncover more secrets behind your favorite crime dramas. When the story feels this crazy, you know you're watching something real. Let's continue peeling back The Sopranos' most remarkable season. Fact number 5. The authentic Jersey backdrop that fooled real mobsters. Chase's insistence on filming in actual New Jersey locations wasn't just about aesthetics. It fundamentally shaped the show's authenticity. HBO initially pushed to film in New York for convenience, but Chase demanded real Garden State settings. The Soprano home in North Caldwell, Satrial's pork store, and those iconic turnpike drives. This commitment to authenticity created such a convincing portrayal that it sparked interest in actual criminal circles. As the show gained popularity, stories emerged about real-life organized crime figures, discussing the show's accuracy. While these reactions became more pronounced in later seasons, even Season 1's realistic portrayal raised eyebrows in certain circles. The line between fiction and reality began blurring. exactly what Chase had intended. Fact number 6. Nancy Marchins' reluctant masterpiece. The psychological warfare between Tony and his mother Livia anchors season 1, but actress Nancy Marchand initially hesitated to take the role. As a distinguished stage performer with a career built on playing dignified characters, she had reservations about portraying a manipulative mafia matriarch on television. Chase helped Marchand understand that Livia wasn't a stereotype, but a Shakespearean figure, a mother whose emotional manipulation could bring a crime boss to his knees. Marchand delivered one of television's most unforgettable performances, creating a monster more terrifying than any hitman. Without her nuanced portrayal, the show's psychological foundation would have crumbled. Fact number 7. The ducks that launched a psychological revolution. Tony Soprano's fascination with the ducks in his pool might seem like a quirky character detail, but it represented something much deeper: the show's revolutionary approach to psychology. This image of a ruthless mob boss having panic attacks over waterfowl leaving his backyard became the perfect metaphor for Tony's deeper fears of abandonment and loss. The seemingly simple duck scenes required multiple takes and special animal handlers on set. The production team built a special ramp for the ducks to enter and exit the pool naturally. Gandolfini, despite his imposing presence, showed remarkable patience working with the unpredictable birds, perhaps sensing how crucial these moments were to his character's complexity. The ducks symbolized everything Tony secretly craved: family harmony, natural order, and a simple contentment forever beyond his reach. When they fly away, his subsequent panic attack reveals the show's psychological masterstroke: a tough guy whose greatest fear isn't death or prison, but emotional abandonment. Fact number 8. The unexpected expansion of Uncle Jr. Corrado Jr. Soprano was initially conceived as a minor antagonist, but Dominic Sianise's magnetic performance changed everything. After viewing early footage, Chase recognized that Jr.'s resentment, narcissism, and old-school mentality created perfect conflict with Tony's new-age approach to family and business. Instead of sidelining Jr. after a few confrontations, the writers elevated him to become central to Season 1's power struggle. The resulting triangle of betrayal between Tony Jr. and Livia transformed The Sopranos from an experimental mob drama into a complex tapestry of family dysfunction. This willingness to follow creative instinct rather than rigid planning became a hallmark of the show's approach to storytelling. Fact number 9. HBO's revolutionary content model. Season 1 emerged at a pivotal cultural moment when HBO's subscription model was creating new possibilities for television. Free from advertiser concerns and FCC regulations, Chase could explore territory that traditional networks couldn't touch: profanity, graphic violence, moral ambiguity, and unresolved psychological tension. This creative freedom allowed The Sopranos to break fundamental rules of television. Episodes didn't need to resolve neatly. Characters could behave inconsistently. Violence could be both thrilling and repulsive. This new framework for storytelling, more novelistic than episodic, pioneered what we now call prestige television. Fact number 10. The cultural earthquake that followed. By the time Season 1 concluded, The Sopranos had accomplished what many thought impossible: creating a protagonist who commits heinous acts, yet somehow keeps viewers invested in his journey. The critical acclaim was unprecedented, with Emmy nominations and growing ratings that transformed HBO from a movie channel to the home of television's most ambitious storytelling. The show arrived just as audiences were ready for stories without easy answers. Films like Fight Club and American Beauty were similarly exploring damaged masculinity, but television hadn't yet embraced such complexity. The Sopranos proved audiences would not only accept morally complicated protagonists, they would become obsessed with them. Wrap up and Season 1. Legacy. Season 1 of The Sopranos was more than just great television. It was the blueprint for everything that followed: the vulnerable anti-hero, the cinematic production values, the moral ambiguity. These elements that define our current golden age all trace back to these 13 groundbreaking episodes. But this is just the beginning of our journey through The Sopranos. Season 2 would bring new challenges: escalating FBI pressure, growing violence, and suspicions about a possible informant in Tony's crew. The psychological foundation established in Season 1 would be tested in ways that pushed the boundaries of television even further. If you want to continue unraveling the hidden architecture behind The Sopranos and other iconic crime epics, subscribe to Primetime Throwback and share your favorite Season 1 revelation in the comments. When the story feels this crazy, it's because The Sopranos showed us how real television could be. Stay tuned for Part 2 of our 6-part exploration into television's greatest crime saga.